coming very much. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to a very exciting season. We have a full coaching staff. We have a brand new pool. Someday we'll have a balcony that you guys can actually sit up in and enjoy the view. So what I first want to talk about is our mission statement. So we are just here to develop and enhance competitive swimming, diving skills, and to help the athletes reach individual goals and promote teamwork and sportsmanship, and most of all, and I really need to add this, for them to have fun. It's really about the kids learning, making friends, and having fun. So I hope that your swimmers are looking forward to a great season. So a little bit about our team structure, how we work, and kind of the umbrella that we're under. So we are actually under what they call the Suburban Aquatic League. So our little group, there's different, I'll get to that as well, but there's like different, there's Northwest, there's Southeast divisions, there's all kinds of divisions, and then we compete against one another, other competitive swim clubs. So our swim club has over 200 swimmers and divers, anywhere from the ages of 5 to 18. We start now, and we go all the way to the end of February, and with A-Champs that goes to the end of January, with A-Champs starting in February. We have dual meets that start in November. They're in November and December, and then we have like championship meets starting in January, with our final meets being at the end of January, followed up by leagues in February. If you guys have any questions about what the Suburban Aquatic League is, you can go to suburbanaquatic.org. Lots of information there about just the umbrella that we're under. We also have what they call USA Swimming, which is we're part of the Middle Atlantic USA Swimming. It's just an add-on to our competition team. They can swim. We go to different meets throughout the year, usually on Sundays. Sometimes on Saturdays, depending on, but we never want to conflict a dual meet with a USA meet. So the season starts early, so our USA swimmers have been in since the beginning of, end of August, beginning of September. It's not really a team as much as it is individuals. So they're swimming longer events, different events. It's more for an individual scores at the meets. Let's see. All right. So PVAC is a parent-run organization. We are actually under the umbrella of the community ed part of our school district. So each parent that is on the board is strictly a volunteer position. So under the PBS community education, we are able to use the high school pools, we can rent classrooms, we have insurance under the school district as well, so our swimmers are covered at meets, home and away. We're also under, so your dues go to pay our coaches, and they're paid through our school district. The PVAC board, me, so as the president, I have co-vice presidents, and if you guys wouldn't mind standing, so just so they can put faces with names when I call your name. Monique Zellen and Dwayne Gutshaw. They're my right-hand people. Actually, I could not run this club without the board members and the coaches. It just wouldn't happen. Amy O'Connor is our secretary.
You skipped Dan.
Oh, did I skip Dan? Dan's our money guy. Where did Dan? Oh, I skipped the money guy. The money guy. And then I have our USA representative, which is Corey Garcia. And then we have the girls rep, Bob McNabb. Boys rep, Jeff Schilling. Where's Pam? Our webmaster extraordinaire who handles any issues with the website is Pam Sills. So she has 2 girls that swim. So, and then our dive reps who are just wonderful. We have Christy Crothers and Sharon Mack.
And Christy's in the hallway with the Applebee's.
With the Applebee's fundraiser. So if you guys have any of our dive parents, if you have any questions, Sharon she's been with the club longer than I've been with the club, and she can answer a myriad of questions other than just diving. So I want to introduce our coaching staff, most of our coaching staff actually is on the pool deck with your children, but I do have a couple of them here. We have our head coach, Mitchell Zkowski, who will be speaking with you guys very shortly. We have our lead girls coach, Debbie Cancro. Welcome back. Thank you. We have our lead boys coach, Ian Jackson. He's on deck. Diving coach is Coach Tracy Sandin, so she is not here tonight, is she? We have the lead USA coach, who is also Mitchell. We have assistant coaches, Becky Strawbridge, Carolyn Russell, who if you've been in mini groups, you guys know Coach Carolyn. She's been with our club for 20 years. This is Becky's 2nd year. Ross Buckwalder, he works with our high school kids with their training as well, so he's going to be on deck with your children. Tommy Todd, Aaron Cancro, Nolan Schneider, Nick Peasy, and Cam Berry will be helping us out this year with our diving. So just to, from a parent's perspective, this is just a couple of things that I need for you all to remember and just to help your swimmers. We need you to bring them to practice and meets. We can't run a meet without your swimmers. So your swimmers are very, very important, but most of them don't drive, so they can't get to meets unless you bring them. So every meet requires numerous workers. And so we are asking that all of our parents volunteer. And so there are volunteer requirements that when you signed up, you agreed to do a certain number of volunteer slots. I will let you know that with our new wonderful pool balcony, we brought it up to handicap accessible code, which is wonderful because now it allows wheelchairs to be brought up to the balcony and allow people in wheelchairs to be able to watch the meets. There's an elevator that's accessible down the hall from the pool that if you need, it'll be available. But with that, we've lost 27% of our seating capacity in the balcony. So it's going to be way cooler on the pool deck than it is in the balcony. So if I were everyone, I would choose to volunteer and not be in the balcony. That's just what I was thinking. We have some really wonderful snack bar folks and that's always an area that we need support. Because that's a big fundraiser for us as well. So when we host home meets, whether it be girls or boys, we have a snack bar, and we have a pretty amazing snack bar. Those of you who have been here before, the food is really good, and I think do a really good job. And what did we make average per meet last year? Roughly. About $3,500, not including Fall Fest, we made on our snack bars, both boys and girls, last year. So we make a good chunk of money doing that. So any volunteer positions that you guys want to jump in on that would be great. So we have many jobs, and if you have any questions on the jobs and how to do them, we have our boys rep who would be absolutely happy to show you how to do the job, tell you what it entails. We have a stroke and turn clinic coming up Wednesday, October 11th. That's to get certified on any stroke and turn officials to run a meet. So that helps with starters, it helps with just officiating a meet. And we can, especially with boys, we can always use stroke and turn. So that's a really good opportunity to get involved. Keeps you down on the pool deck and out of the balcony.
Just a little more information. That entails one training class, which I think is only 2 hours, right? And then you shadow, and you'll shadow, I think, twice, and then you would be certified. So it's not a very intensive, long process.
And we're hosting it here in our library. So it's here. Most of you will be here for swim practices anyway. You can just stay and get certified. So Bob McNabb's our girls rep. If you guys have anytime you guys have any questions about anything on a meet, you can always see a board member. Or the boys rep, girls rep, they're a plethora of information. Yep. Our volunteer coordinators are, for the boys, Anne Marie Carpico. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is, Anne Marie Carpico. And the girls, would that be the Giordanis again? Oh.
They will track you down.
And they will track you down. So when we have meets, boys meets, you will check in with Anne Marie. Girls meets, you will check in with one of the Giordanis. Correct, that, because I don't know who's. Yeah, depending.
50-50.
Oh, yeah, 50-50. Oh, that's
Don't forget, one other thing for volunteers, we desperately need, especially on the boys side, cable workers and scoreboard operators. So if anyone is interested, the mock meet, which we have, is a great place to learn and get trained, and there's a few people we have that can train, but we are way short on the boys side, cable workers and scoreboard operators.
Yeah, I can only think
And some extra drawer workers.
Yeah, I can only think of 2 on the boys' side that are able to run it.
So think about it, you get a seat, middle of the pool, there's a lot of coaches walking past so you can't see anything, but...
And you guys basically own the timing system, so my kids swam at 12 seconds, 25. I'm kidding, I'm just kidding. That leads me to my next volunteer opportunity. Y'all can be a part of all this wonderful organization process. So we have a couple of positions that are coming open next year. Some parents are graduating out of the age group. Some are already in high school, but some are graduating into the high school realm. And they'll be moving on. The board positions are 2 years. Would love to talk to any of you on, I know the treasurer position will be open, and then I haven't sort of seen who else wants to come back. If anybody wants my job, it's always available. But you can help in other ways too, like running, like Dana Linton is in charge of our spirit wear and our, right, because she'll be done as well. So she's involved in, so you guys can take those. You don't necessarily have to be like a board member, but there is positions on running spirit wear, running volunteer coordinating, running anything like that. So just ask, thank you guys. So I'm going to hurry so Mitchell can take the floor. Operating budget. This is where your money goes. And I want to be pretty upfront with you. This is just about right on par. So thank you all for signing your children up. 47% of the money that you guys to have your children swim go to coaching and lifeguards, because we cannot have your little people in the pool without lifeguards on deck. It's just part of the school district, and it's just a safety thing. 23% goes to the payroll cost, PSERS, and the school district. There is a 5% roughly credit card processing fee to be able to run Team Unify and to make your lives a little easier and not having to write a million checks. Our sinus rental, some of you guys will see your sinus this year on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are able to, very luckily, use our sinus college pool, and it allows us more practice time because we do share the pool with water polo and high school swimming and other community ed run programs like the Aqua Size, the Master Swim, that kind of stuff. So our pool time is not unlimited. I wish it were. Coaching meets, coaching 2% Sal Invitationals, and about 2% are the Sal dues, because we are under that umbrella of Sal. We do get a bill from our bosses, basically, to help with champs for all that kind of stuff, just running it. Volunteering. Volunteer sign up is through our Team Unify website. I'll go through that, so you guys will be able to see how to volunteer. So requirements for volunteering. If your child swims Fall Fest, we ask that you volunteer for Fall Fest. If your child doesn't swim Fall Fest, you're not required to volunteer. Although we have a lot of times have parents come in and volunteer even if their kids aren't swimming. Helping us set up, helping us break down, helping us, volunteer with bringing snack bar stuff. So it's just, it's our biggest fundraiser of the whole entire year. So the more help we have with that, the better off it runs. I did not introduce Jen, she's on here. Jen Palabinsky is our invitational coordinator. So once we get there, when you get to the invitation, if your child chooses to swim an extra meet outside of our dual meets, you will register them online for the invitational. It is an extra fee. Jen Palabinsky she's responsible for kind of pulling those and making sure we get entered into those. She's also our new parent volunteer person. So if you have any questions, you can also go to Jen, because she's very knowledgeable as well. 3 meets during the regular season. I know we had a couple of questions. If you are a husband and wife and husband does 1, wife does 1 in the same meet, counts as 2. So you guys can, because I know parents have to tag team sometimes. We do ask that you help with 1 meet postseason. So in January, we do ask that you help with the 1. Mandatory signups for division champs. So if your child is swimming in division champs, whether it be A champs or just regular division champs, we ask that you volunteer. So we ask that you help out with one volunteer, like with a clothing drive, with the Applebee's, with something like that. We ask that you do that as well. The last one goes to that stroke and turn starting that we just talked about. I will give the floor to Monique. She's going to go over some fundraising stuff right quick.
So we have a couple of fundraisers coming up in a few weeks here. On October 7th, we're kind of doing double duty by having an Applebee's fundraiser in the morning from 8 to 10 a.m. And this is the first time that our team is trying this out, but I know a lot of other teams do this and they're very successful. The restaurant is not open yet on Saturday morning from 8 to 10, so it's just going to be exclusively for our organization and for the people that we invite to the event. There will be 2 time slots, one from 8 to 9 and one from 9 to 10, so your children may sign up to work at the restaurant and serve pancakes or be a host or a hostess, or they can serve drinks, not hot coffee, so the adults will do that, but just like the orange juice and the water. So it's a fun thing where you can come and you can either have your child serve you, or you can sit together as a family and then let them take the next hour's shift. You can invite your neighbors, you can invite other family members and friends. I'm selling the tickets right now. They're $7 a piece, and you can buy them from me or ask another board member, because I'm not here every single night, but we will have tickets available. The best thing is to please buy them ahead of time, because we do need to have somewhat of a head count of who's coming that morning. So if you can, we need to let the restaurant know by the end of this week. So I will take cash for and you get a little ticket like this to show up to the restaurant with. You can show up anytime between 8 and 10. Or I also take checks, but I cannot take credit cards for this event. If you do want your child to work at the event, you go onto our website on Team Unify and click on the event, and there's a job sign up. A lot of the jobs have been taken, but there are still some openings. And then that afternoon, we're having our clothing drive, and It's not just clothing, it's all sorts of things that we take, because a big truck comes over to the middle school, and they will take pretty much clothing, shoes, handbags, household items, electronics, hard toys, stuffed animals, which I know those are always hard to give away because a lot of organizations won't take them. Sporting goods, bicycles, car seats, books, and DVDs. And we have a bunch of flyers out in the hallway there, so if you want to grab a flyer just so you have this list. And all you need to do is put the stuff in big garbage bags or kitchen-sized bags. We ask that you close the bags so that when it gets dropped off at the middle school, we have volunteers that sign up and the kids can help too, and they unload the cart for you. You don't even have to carry your stuff out. And then the truck comes like between 2 and 3 o'clock and starts loading up. Last year we filled up the whole entire truck. It was a huge truck and we made $800. So, but we really count on families to bring their stuff. Go through your basement, go through your closets, bring whatever you can. Tell other family members, your parents might have stuff, your neighbors might have stuff. And if you cannot drop it off on that afternoon, I will start taking stuff that week. If you email me at vicepresident@pvaquatic.com, we can set up a time where you could drop it off at my house, or maybe I'll be at practice and I can take it from you. I can't take tons of stuff, but if you are out of town that weekend or there's some way that you can't bring it, I will get it from you. We still want your stuff. Or leave it with a friend that can drop it off on that day. That would be great. And then like Beth said, the Fall Fest is a huge fundraiser for us. So just bring lots of good food to the snack bar, sign up for things, because people do really get hungry and it goes on all day long. There's a morning session for the younger kids and an afternoon session for the older kids. And one last thing, we are selling Wawa Hoagie coupons. I know there's a lot of organizations that sell them, but we make $1 per hoagie coupon and the cost is $4. If you were to buy a small Wawa Hoagie at the store, it would cost like $4 and something cents. So you're actually saving money by buying the coupons from us, and then you just take them to the Wawa whenever you want and get a hoagie, and it's really convenient, like before a practice or on a weekend or whenever. So you can see me, we have some out in the hallway right now, and I'll be carrying them around at practices and at different times. So just ask me or ask a board member if you're interested in buying Wawa Hoagie coupons.
And they never expire.
And they never expire, so you buy 20 this year, you can use them next year, whenever you want. So, and they make good like stocking stuffers at Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So thank you.
I'm sorry, would Maggie Klein's mother or father please meet with Coach Moulton?
I am going to skip, I want to go over the website stuff, but I'm going to let Coach Mitchell chat for a minute, so I'm going to just skip a couple of slides, and then I will go back.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming tonight. I am the head coach, Mitchell Zakowski. As I'm going through these slides, and there's only a couple of them, I will be introducing all of the assistant coaches. Over there we have Aaron Cancro. Hello everybody. And Tommy Todd. And then here we have Coach Debbie. You guys can go back to the pool deck and send 2 more.
Any questions, we'll take them now.
So this year, the first 2 weeks of practice, we're doing it by age. I am new to the program, so all of the kids are new to me. I have to see how well they swim, what level of ability that they are, and the groups will be based on their level of ability, not so much their age. But for the first 2 weeks, we're just doing it by age to make it easier for me to first meet all the kids, and then determine how well they swim. If there are any problems or any issues that any of the parents have, please contact me. My email's on the website. My phone number, I believe, is on the website also. If there are any issues or concerns on your side or even with the kids, if the kids have problems, I would like to know. To me, it's very important to stress good technique. In the beginning of the season, we will focus a lot on the very basics and fundamentals of swimming. Pushing off the wall, tight streamline, kicking, starts and turns. Throughout the entire practice of every day, every week this year, we will focus on all of their technique while they're swimming. It's important to me that they swim and they practice properly, because if they practice with poor technique, that's how they're going to end up swimming in the swim meet. To ensure that the kids listen to us and don't give us a hard time, I do institute a push-up or wall squat type of philosophy. It seems to be very effective, and it's very motivational. Yeah, the kids love it, I can tell you that. As far as practice expectations, I hope that the kids at least come to half of the practices. The younger kids, 2 days a week is good. The older kids, I expect 3 to 4 days a week. If your child's not improving, maybe they're not coming to practice enough. That's one of the key factors to becoming a better swimmer, is practicing more often. I do not like when parents coach from the deck or from the stands. If you want your child to improve something, approach me or one of the other coaches. I don't like when a parent is in the stands teaching their kids how to swim, when the coaches are on the deck also trying to teach their kids how to swim. It's important to me that all the kids arrive on time. If practice starts at 6:15, that means they're in the water at 6:15. Pool time is at a very limited here and at Ursinus, so it's important that we get in the water when practice starts. All those other things are pretty self-explanatory. So this is more on when you bring your child to practice, walk them into the pool. We don't recommend that you drop your younger swimmers off and drive away. It's better if you come in to make sure that there is practice. We update the calendar online very frequently, so if there's any questions as to what group or what time you should come, please go onto our website and look at the calendar. We're pretty thorough with that and detailed. Again, if there's any questions, please feel free to email me. This is a pool that we rent. It is not our pool, it is the school district's. With that in mind, please respect it, and I will tell all the kids the same thing. You know, we are renting the pool facility. This is not ours, we don't own it. Do any of the parents have any questions so far?
I wanted to stress that the schedule, at least in years past, has changed a lot, and sometimes at the last minute, and it's because we have such limited pool time, sometimes pool time becomes available all of a sudden, so we kind of change the schedule. So it's actually a good thing. It's actually getting our kids more into the pool, and that's why you have to keep checking. It's not because we're trying to be, inconvenient. It's just we're trying to maximize pool time.
Exactly.
And on the flip side, you may show up next Tuesday, next Wednesday. There's a water polo game that's running late. We're second fiddle to the high school teams. We wait until they're done and we get in. So be cognizant of that. Stand in the hallway, wait for your kid. It's the best we can do. We do as much as we can to get in. So let's keep both sides of it in mind.
How many groups are you planning to have?
Overall, basically there's 6 groups, but they'll be broken down, so total there'll probably be 12 different groups. The way I look at it, if you look at a swimming pool, there's 6 lanes, and each lane will be a different level of swimmer. So for me, it's easier to keep track that way. But like group 6 would have 2 different categories, like 2 different groups. One would be faster than the other, but they're pretty much the same level of ability. Does that make sense? Kind of. Again, I mean, it's an ongoing, it's a learning process, not just for me, but for the parents and the kids. And it will change throughout the year, because as kids start to practice, a lot of the kids now, especially tonight's their first night back in the water, or their first night in the water, they will start to become conditioned, and their level of ability will increase, which means they will probably move up through the different groups. And that's just the way swimming is. I don't think any one swimmer is going to be stuck in one group the entire year. If they are, then I'm not doing my job right. Any other questions? Yes?
Does last-minute time changes come through in the text, or do we have to check the calendar?
Last minute time changes, we will definitely send an email.
There's an SMS when you go onto your thing. If there's any last-minute changes that I'm aware of, like inclement weather or low water, I can send a text done it a couple of times already this year. Some of you may have gotten it already if you're already registered, but I can do that through the on deck. And so can coach, so can the coaches, so he can send last minute.
I'm not a big fan of last minute changes. I like to have things scheduled a couple days in advance. But if there is an incident where a day before or that day of, we will send out text messages and an email, just to make sure everyone's informed. So, parents are not permitted to be on deck at any time during practices. They are permitted to watch from the balcony, if you would like. We're working on a system or a process where we can show in the hallway what's going on deck. I will keep you all informed as to when that's happening. Like I said, please do not coach from the stand. It's confusing to your kids. They don't know if you're their parent or their coach, so I'd rather be their coach and then you can be their parent. There's no food or drink in the balconies also.
And no glass bottles on the deck, ever.
Definitely no glass bottles.
No glass. Some of those water containers are glass, and at our sinus last year, one was absolutely broken on the pool deck. It gets in the filtration system, the pool has to be drained, it's a mess, and it's our fault, so.
The Suburban Aquatic League dual meets take place on Friday nights for diving and then Saturdays for competition. The girls will be at one pool, the boys will be at another, depending on the schedule. It's definitely laid out for you and it is on the website. Meet attendance is important. If you cannot attend the meet, please let me know, especially before, the meet. Here are two other coaches. We have Nolan Schneider.
Hey, how's it going?
The other two were doing dances. And Nick Pompisi. Just wave. Dance. That's it.
Okay, that's easy. Cool.
It's nice to see you.
We'll see.
Okay, bye.
Meet attendance is important. There is a way to register for the meets online, which Beth will go through the process. If your child can't make it, it's best that I know as soon as possible. If you can't make it, please notify me or on the website by Tuesday at the latest.
Yeah, they have to commit by. We'll get into it. You have to commit by Tuesday, so Tuesday night at midnight, anyone who hasn't said they're coming will be automatically not put in the meeting. So, very important Tuesday before every meet, before midnight, you get on there and say either you're coming, you prefer to say. So you have to get on the website by Tuesday at midnight and sign your kid into the meet. If they are not signed in, Wednesday morning when the coaches go to pull it, they will not be put in any events. So Tuesday night at midnight is the deadline. You go on the website and say it's pretty simple. You click their name, say they will attend or they won't attend. That's it. You should have to go over.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And you know what, they wake up with fire, they wake up with, that's unavoidable. Please don't bring your child sick to me. Nobody, the other parents aren't gonna like it. Coaches don't want.
This schedule is going to be posted online,
It will
so
be.
you don't have to take a picture of it.
The parent handbook and the whole, and the PowerPoint presentation will be put online, so you guys can go back and look at it after later.
Yes.
For the meets, are you expecting the kids to go the whole day for the whole meet, or is it a time-based thing with when they race and how does it work?
So the swim meets are usually 4 hours long. Correct me if I'm wrong.
These are a little shorter.
Okay. The dual meets are usually 4 hours or less. For the Saudi, they are expected to go for the whole time. We like to have the kids there for warm-ups when the meet starts and then also to the end so that they can cheer on the rest of the team. Obviously, if there's something that comes up, you're definitely, if you tell me, at least let me know that you have to leave early, that's fine. But we encourage that the kids stay and help cheer on the rest of the team.
Are the times already posted for those meets, or is that TV?
Some of the times are set, some of them are not. So we're still waiting for some of the other teams to give us when their start times are. hopefully, is there a deadline? Are they supposed to?
No.
I think our meet times are set, although they're not open, so you can't see them, but they are set. We are at the mercy when we're away, whether a boy or a girl, we're at the mercy of the host team as to what time they start a meet. So we don't have control over the team that they're swimming if we are away. We only have control over our start times.
And most of our start times are in the afternoon, correct?
Yeah, there's some 11 a.m. start times, but most of them are like 1. January, there's a 2 o'clock start time.
Yeah, most of the meets start at 1. We do have an 11 a.m., but for our home meets, they're going to be in the afternoon. So we do spend a lot of time preparing the lineups for each of the swim meets. It's not as easy as saying these kids are going to swim these events at every swim meet. It's going to be based on what events I want kids to try or improve on. So that is why it's important for you to let me know if you're going to be at the meet or not. Please be courteous toward arrive 30 minutes before warm-up. We encourage all the kids to be very great sportsmen. It makes them better people throughout their life. So what we will do is have them shake hands, cheer on all of their other teammates throughout the swim meets. We have one of the coaches walking down the swimmers from the earlier practice, so if you're concerned about them getting here, we have a coach bringing them down. Hey, one down. Another coach of ours, Ian Jackson. He's been here before.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, this
No,
guy's-
I'm not singing.
sang this really good thing.
Yeah, no.
So he is one of the other assistant coaches. You will see him throughout the year.
So, oh, okay, that was great. Hi, everyone.
And make sure the kids dry off before they leave school.
Yes,
So invitational meets, may need help explaining some of this stuff,
You
but
want me to take that?
yeah. Well,
Dwayne, go ahead.
So here's the list, turn it around. So here's the list of, what's the list of the invitational meets?
Well, talk to them about what an invitation meeting is.
So Sal has invitational meets. It's by invitation, and we can go, you can sign your kid up or you don't have to. It's usually, Fall Fest is ours. It's actually the first one of the year for Sal, except maybe the time trials. But that's our meet. That's where we make a lot of money. We do like all of our swimmers to attend that meet for sure. And then other teams have them throughout the league. Some of them are pretty far away. Make sure you know where you're going before you sign up, because we made that mistake. Council Rock at 7 o'clock in the morning is rough. Anyhow, you sign your kid up usually 4 events, sometimes 5 is the max. You can pick an event for them. If you want some insight from the coach, you could probably ask him what he thinks, but you sign him up. You get then charged for that event for $4 or $5, and then you'll get a $2 fee to cover the credit card fee online, and when you sign them up online, and you get charged for your credit card on file. We will have a coach at all of the meets. Go, sir.
I have a just for the new parents. We have a rule in our house for invitationals. We don't pay for non-legal events. So if you're a swimmer, and maybe isn't completely legal an event, maybe you think about doing the events that they're legal in, because you are paying the $5, usually it's a $5 fee per event. So you're paying for it, and it's a great experience for them, because they get to see different pools and swim with different people that then maybe not otherwise get to swim.
And then for anybody that may have kids in different age groups, pay attention to the time. We have the pleasure of a 10 and 12-year-old this year, so the 10 will be at 7 in the morning for most, and the 12 will be at 1 in the afternoon. So if you have 8 hours to dedicate to a Sunday meet, have fun. But and there's a few people in that boat, so just make sure you check the times though when you sign up. And like I said, Council Rock at 7 in the morning. They weren't happy waking up at 4:30. So
Tell them that boys and girls do swim together at the invitational meets, so if you have a boy and a girl and you want to go to the meet and they're close in the same age groups, then you can do that, then you can have that opportunity to make it a family thing.
And then the last thing I'll say with that, like I'm assuming we're going to put Fall Fest up in the next week or so. So you'll see Fall Fest go up on the site under events. You sign in, you click on it. It'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of your swimmers, however many you have. Click on them, say you want to attend. There'll be the list of events they can swim. You check the 3 or 4 or 5 that you want them to swim. and you hit save, and then it'll get approved and submitted. And there'll be a deadline. I don't know what our deadline is for Fall Fest, but it's usually a week or two, maybe even 3 weeks. Some people want them before the actual event. So be careful of when the deadline is. Don't miss it because you'll get shut out. Go ahead.
And 3 of those invitationals, I know ours is going to be North Penn Trophy Meet and Upper Merion, last one in late January. They're also dual USA meets. So if you're a USA swimmer, times you get in those races will count towards Mid-Atlantic Junior Olympics qualifying times. Okay, so it is a Sal and USA meet. We'll give you more information about that next week or 2.
Questions?
Can you talk about the mock meet?
Oh, yes, so we will be having a mock meet. Can we get a date? What's up
And
there?
then we'll put it on the weekend, Saturday, and Friday, to do a meeting over.
No, I can go over. So, yeah, it should be Saturday the 21st. It will be in the afternoon right after the little guy. So like around 1 o'clock. This is a meet we run here. It's twofold. One for starters like myself, table workers. New table workers, hint, 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 that want to get trained. It's a great place. New starters, new stroke and turns. Great place to learn. But also to bring your kids and let them get used to going off the block, listening to the buzzer. It's a meet with just our own team. And I think we usually sign them up for every event, right?
Yeah, everything.
So I don't know, I say every event, it's just whatever age group, it's the 4 strokes, not 2 of the 3, not the IM, but the 4 major strokes. Each kid will swim all of those. It's a great way to get new kids in and maybe get the older returning kids to remember how to do it. And I think we try to 12 and under, right?
Well, I said 14 and under, so it's just a way to get times for
Right.
the.
And it helps the coaches, yeah, get times for planning their first meet, so you can start with a win, right? Good. All right. Questions on the mock meet? A perfect time to volunteer and learn how.
Is there time for that meet yet, or no?
That will be in the afternoon. My guess is they get out around 12 from the little guy practice, so we can set up 1:30, warm up, 2 o'clock start.
2 o'clock, that sounds about right. We'll
Just,
verify that.
Again, they don't get out of the community and swim lessons don't get done until 12 or 12:30, and then it takes us about an hour to set up the pool, and then we can get the kids in and warm up. So my guess is 1:30 will be warm-ups, 2 o'clock start, something like that.
Do you have historical times for the mock, like if they are coming to the mock meet, do the times from the year before exist?
For our team, they exist since whenever.
So
But-
if we miss that date, it's okay, you have historical times to be.
We do.
You need to have.
Now, if you're coming in from another club or another country or another planet, not so much. Plus, you'd be faster on another planet,
Now, if they age up, they will have no time.
especially if they
So,
use
or
up
if
to
they
a
haven't
different
swam,
distance.
if they haven't swam it before, they will have no time, but for the most part, they'll carry. If you swam last year, your times will carry over.
And if not, the children use this crystal ball.
Unless they swam for Baker Park or another team that uses Team Unified, no. I do know that Team Unified with Baker Park, those times carry in just because my school is times and stuff. They're also that leader, and we work in yards in the winter time, so we're yard based, and those are leader times, so the times are gonna be a little different.
I think I've done my portion.
Then we push it, and
Yes, sure.
Talking about swim meets.